And I want to go back because I want to show you something. And this is how much I love you guys. And plus, I love talking about this game. And I'm really excited to play it. And just, and you guys play it. So I could not remember this. I mean, when I shut the camera, I remember what this Tavern Task is. Remember I said it was hidden? It's the Rise of the Crimson Tribe. So in creating the story for Dungeon Crusade and what I wrote, you'll meet a bunch of factions in this game. I just create this. There's good, bad. This land is populated with a ton of stuff. So I'm going to share, not really a spoiler, but this is the Tavern Task card. And excuse me, this is the one that has the thick bleed area, which is not going to be this black. This is Charcy Sibrai. This is one of the characters, and she has a backstory I wrote. She's one of the quest givers in the game. But Tavern Task, let's read this. The Rise of the Crimson Tribe. As the heroes are exiting the tavern, they are met by Charcy Sibrai, a warrior within the Maidens of Witherbrook Forest. She asks them for their help in dealing with a gang of minions known as the Crimson Tribe. She will pay them 200 gold for each one they slay. Task. The heroes must slay minions that have a red base on their miniature. This task may be turned in on any celebration day. Reward. 200 gold for each minion to a maximum of 4. So this Crimson Tribe is identified by the red plastic bases on their miniatures. So when the heroes kill them, you can mark that they'll get a reward of 200, but they can only go up to 4, so they can net 800 gold from this. So Tavern Tasks are optional. You don't have to complete them. It's not required to. So it's just like it's just some extra life force and gold. So maybe you'll run into the Crimson Tribe, and they will show up in the Avalon Adventure board game, but I'm not going to say where. But they're in there for a few times. And then right here, this 4, that means you gain 4 life force. So these kind of the Tavern Tasks are very good to complete, for extra gold and extra life force. And there is a few of them will give you some loot too. So that is a little bit about that. I hope you enjoyed that. So now we're going to go on to these. So and this is probably one of my favorite things that I wrote, and I had a little over 120 encounters for the encounter deck. So I took the best 87 of them, and I put them, this is what's in the game. So the deal with encounter cards is this, that notice that there's images. For one, so this deals with the encounter phase of the game. You go through your upkeep phase, then you go to an encounter phase. And what you do is you draw the top card of an account on the encounter deck, and then you see what's going to happen. And to avoid spoilers, because I've gotten yelled at this, I did blur out some of it. But I want you to see the images, because I wanted to really draw, the player into the experience and make it very immersive for them. So early on, I worked with an amazing artist named Cameron, and I said, I just don't want text there for people. I want to give them an image, of kind of what I'm thinking of, something they could visualize when they're reading this. So each of the 87 encounter cards, I insisted had unique art on it. So that's what this is. And real quickly, there's actually 4 different encounters, and I know we talked about this definitely a few videos ago. Red ones, see how these kind of like have a red tint? Those are challenges. Challenges, you're going to get to select the hero you want to do this challenge, and you must do challenges. And this is really one of my most favorite parts of the game, because you never know. The encounter deck is always randomly generated. You'll never know what's going to come up. So a red backing, or the tint, is challenges. Yellow, here are environment. That means it's going to stick around. Environment cards are sometimes good, sometimes bad. It's a mix of good and bad. So those are environment cards. And blues cards are events, where this is going to tell you, I'm glad this came up, or this is here. This is what I was talking about with playing with different amount of heroes, that these cards will dictate, it'll say, randomly, select a hero. So if you're playing with 6 heroes, you roll a d6. Whoever has that initiative token, that's who's going to have to do this event. So you simply just swap that out. So say you're playing with 4 heroes, you roll a d4. If you're going to play with 8 heroes, you roll a d8. Very, very simple. So, and then there's interlude cards, and those are just that's just nothing. It has a thematic writing, and nothing happens in the encounter phase. And that was meant to like throttle the encounter deck, so you're not being hit every time with something. So that's it. So these are some of the images that I worked with Cameron on, and so I'm very excited for people to try out these encounters. I think you're going to have a very good time for these. So you can look at these and consider what these could be. This one here, let me zoom in. This is a fun one. Okay, see this like goblin sleeping? And I'll give you one little quick one that you get to select a hero, and this goblin is sleeping. On the table next to him is some gold, and there's a piece of loot. So you're going to have to test a certain attribute to sneak in and get this. But if you wake him up, you know, if you fail the test, you wake up the goblin, and I'm not going to tell you what happens. Very excited, guys, for this. I'm just so excited for you to play this. So that's the encounter deck. Actually, might be going into a fourth video, if you don't mind. Proof copy of the game. Well, of course, that was a sheet. That's a sheet of the encounter cards, but there's more around it. Proof copy of game. Here is some of the stuff that the manufacturer is preparing. These here are hero cards, and that's why I wanted to jump back. So let's take here. See, like Carrick Roan here. This is our paladin. Well, on the back of it, of all the hero cards on the level 1, well, this is Korath Doomswood. This is the Warlock. But I worked with backers on something called Create a Hero, and this was totally free. I was not going to charge anything for this. It was at the start of the campaign. If you were lucky enough, you got to create a hero. So this guy Michael here got Korath well, he named him, this hero, Korath Doomswood. You got to name the hero, and you got to write a cool backstory, and your name is on the back of it. And I didn't want there was no money involved. I refused to take someone's money for something. I wanted to be a very pure and creative experience for all of us. So when you look at the level 1 cards, you flip it over, and then you could read their backstory. It has their special ability cards and where they hail from in Avalon. So I just wanted to mention that. This is Albus, the party's fetch hound, so it looks like they have this ready to go for the proof copy. And I was going to say something more about that. But no, so there's the hero cards in the game. Oh, and then level 2 and level 3 hero cards, they just have the same, you know, like level 2 is on one side, level 3 of the heroes on the other side. You know what? There is going to be one final video because I talked about the Tavern Tasks card. So, sorry. But I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, wait. Pausing this, coming back. We're going to wrap it up. A few more pictures to show than what's on the horizon for Dungeon Crusade. So I'll talk to you in a few.